So I was at karate yesterday and I have a stiff back, stiff neck and stiff hips. That is what I'm going to be working on today. So the first thing I'm going to do is stand up. We're going to get ourselves into a sun salutation. So we're going to bring our hands up to the ceiling and try and look through the diamond shape of your hands. And then roll all the way down as far as you can go, and see if you can touch the ground. So I'm really feeling that in the upper back on the right hand side, and also across the lower back there. Whew, okay, so I'm going to bring this back up nice and slow. This time I'm going to bend the back a little bit, keeping focus in between that diamond shape. And then back down. See if we can get a little lower now. Knuckles on the ground. Bring it up for the third time. Looking in between the diamond again. See if we can get a bigger back stretch. And then back down. And this time we're going to hold just here. Okay? We're going to put our hands, we're going to cross our hands like so. We're going to slowly rotate around. I can certainly feel that in the hips. Okay, see if we can close our feet a little bit more. Put the toes together and then see if we can roll our hands all the way to the bottom, keeping those legs nice and straight. And if we can get to the bottom, if we can get to the mat, we're going to see if we can walk forward. Walking forward as far as we can, keeping our heels together, keeping our legs nice and straight. That's as far as I can go. And then we're going to walk all our way back. There we are. Okay. Bring ourselves up to the top. Oh, okay. Let's do some shoulder shrugs. Yeah, I can certainly feel that in the back, in the neck. Okay. So as I do this, I'm becoming more aware of the pain points in my body, in my joints. And I know the areas in which I need to work on. So what we're going to do is get into a downward dog. So put our feet a shoulder width apart, like so, and then we're going to go all the way down to touch our toes if we can, and then we're going to walk forward, walk with our hands and our fingers all the way so our palms are on the ground. And then we're going to push back as much as we can, keeping our legs straight. And that's going to give us a nice stretch in the calf muscles and the glutes. And it's also going to stretch out our back as well. And from here, what I'm going to do is bring this foot forward in between, like so. And then I'm going to bend this leg so it's facing the doggies. And we're going to lean or lay on that knee, push the other foot back and lay on the hips like so. Now I can feel the stretch in the hip and in the glutes, and keep that nice and straight like so, and then look up. Now I can feel the stretch here, and in my back. Give it a few more seconds. And then this time we're going to bring that knee back to the other knee. So we're in a kneeling position. And we're going to go down into child pose. As we go down into child pose, we're going to slowly move our hands forward. Almost like we're trying to push our shoulders out of their own sockets. You're going to put our forehead on the mat as we slowly inch our way forward. What we want to do in this position is your arms are going that way, your bum is going behind you. Okay? Forehead on the ground. From here, we're going to put our hands a shoulder width apart, and then we're going to go into Cobra. So, down, and then up. And then we're going to arch our back, look to the ceiling. Imagine there's like something pulling at your belly button, pulling down whilst you're looking up, yeah? Oh. Okay, now we're going to go back into child pose, keeping our hands where they are. See if we can get a little bit more of a stretch. And then back into Cobra. Okay, from here, we're going to go into another downward dog. So we're a little bit further than we were before, but that's fine. If you need to, bring your hands back. And we're going to push back onto our ankles. Make sure our ankles are down. Make sure our shoulder blades are not rolled. And this time, we're going to use the opposite knee. So we're going to bring this foot in the middle, then we're going to turn this foot facing the TV there, come down on the knee, back foot turn in so we're on our toes, slide that backwards, slowly lower yourself on that bum cheek and look up. Wonderful. Wow. You know when you do a stretching, it's just like, yeah, that's hitting the spot right there. Right there. Okay. Alright, from here, we're going to come out of this, go back into child pose again. One final push. And then from here we're going to sit up, like so. I'll come a bit forward. And we're going to face this direction. The idea now is that we want to turn and twist. And the opposite hand is going to turn and touch the heel of the opposite foot, okay? So let's do this nice and slow. And if you can't do it, see if you can just touch a part of the foot, part of the calf. And if you can't do it, I encourage you to practice this in your own time to see if you can do it, making each session slightly more slowly breathe into it, okay? All right, so rotating with the right hand, going to the left ankle. So at this point here, I can feel that there is, it's almost like a pole, a wall that's preventing me from twisting anymore. So this is about where the range of motion is on this side, which is what I expected, because I am feeling this hip here. It's really tight. So let's see what it's like on the other side. So we're going to turn the other side. And on the other side, I can actually get round. There we are. Okay, so let's see if we can work on this side then, because it is definitely not allowing me to move and twist. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, we're going to get ourselves into a butterfly, right? Because I'm going to open up these hips, make sure these hips are nice and open. So get ourselves into butterfly. So that's your feet touching each other, your knees out. And what I like to do is slowly pulse as I'm pushing down with the elbows. So the elbows are in the creases of the knees, like so, and we're pushing down. So push, 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 down and then up, down and up. Breathing as you do. So 1, 2, 3, and so on, and rock from side to side as well. And on the side you're rocking down, push down a little bit further. Okay. All right, so let's bring our feet out to the side and then try and push up as high as we can. Try and touch that sky. And then as we do that, roll forward, roll forward, roll forward, and see if we can land on our feet. We can. So, gonna grab our toes, grab our feet, our elbows start to lower by the knee, and we're gonna push ourselves forward. Okay, and from here, let's just put out one foot this time. Bring the back foot in, okay? Make sure the toes are pointing up. You want to try and aim to keep this as low as you can, right? Because there'll be a tendency for this to flare up in a minute. You want to keep that down. So what I like to do is have my elbow on the knee to make sure that that is where it should be. And then with his hand, we're going to reach up and we're going to try and go as low as we can and pull in. And that you're kind of pulling in this sort of angle here because you're pushing down on this knee. And then as an advanced move, what you could do is start bringing this hand out. Make sure that that knee is nice and straight, making sure that this is on the ground. Push out. This is great for lower back pain. Okay, now we're going to swap legs. So, there we go. Up, 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 up. and then down. Try and grab that knee. Yeah, hello. This is the bad side. Right. Okay, I'm going to put the elbow on that knee here. Right. We're going to lift up, 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 and try that. See if we can get over here. Oh. Yep. And then with this elbow, we're going to try and shoot it this way. Wow, okay. Okay, so that is the lower back part. Let's still work on the hips though. So what I'm going to do is bring this foot in a right angle, so it's at 90 degrees, and then this foot is 90 degrees as well. I'll come back a little bit so you can see it. And then we're going to reach up to the top and come all the way over the front knee. And we're going to slowly walk our fingers forward, putting our elbows on the ground if we can. Okay, let's bring ourselves back and change our feet. So what the foot that was back is now the foot that's forward. Get yourself into a 90-90. So that foot is at a 90-degree angle. And again, coming up and down. Okay, so the next one is stood up. We're going to have our feet probably 2.5 shoulder widths apart, and then we're going to reach up to the top, and then we're going to slowly bend down like so, touching the ground. And then we're going to move to one side. I'm going to move to the side that's closest to the camera here. One hand either side of the foot. Then what I'm going to do is the front hand, I'm going to move so it is behind the foot, so it's here, right? This gives this hand, makes this hand free. Make sure that your knee is in line with your shoulder. And with this, we're just going to slowly reach up the other side, okay? Do this nice and slow. Breathe as you go. Oh. Bring it down. What you're aiming for is you're looking at your own thumb as you do this. You're looking into the sky. So we're then going to move over to the next foot. We'll start by putting the hands either side of the foot. Just have a little bit of a stretch there. And then the hand that's in front of the foot comes behind, making sure that your shoulder is in line with the knee again. And then with this one, again, we're going to slowly rise up. bring it down. Oh, okay, bring it to the middle. Let's see if we can lower it a little bit. So move your feet out if you can. And then without headbutting the unit, let's see if we can get our elbows on the ground. If you can't get your elbows on the ground, that's fine. Just go as low as you can. Palms back up. Okay, from here, we're going to turn that foot forward. We're going to come in to a lizard pose, all right? So what we want is to have our back foot flat, like so. So our knee goes on the mat, and the back foot is flat, so you're resting on the toes. You want your hand in line with your heel, and then from here we're going up. So a modification to the lizard pose and that stretch that we just did. Okay, so we're gonna come back and change foot. So again, arm is on the inside of the leg, shoulder is in line with the knee, back foot is straight, and you are on your toes. So you're flat, the foot is on the mat, and then again, bring your arm up as far as it can go. And back down. Whew. Yes. As you can probably tell, I am suffering from a shoulder injury, so that's as far as I can go. So, next thing, we're going to sit on our butt, and then this time we're going to put one hand on the opposite ear, okay, and then the other hand on the other ear. This might look a bit funny, but what you're doing is you're stretching up your upper back. Okay, now what we're going to do is hold our ears and come down like so. Whew. Right, now this elbow is going to face the ceiling. Like so. And do on the other side. Let's do that again. And do that again. One more time. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is we're going to sit down like this, nice straight back. Okay, put one hand on the floor, okay, and we're going to pretend that we're creating a C shape, okay, so we're going to come in like this, over the back, over the head I mean, and we're going to try and make a C shape. You see my hand is my hand is forward. You want to try and get it nice and back, so behind, almost behind your head. Now you'll have a tendency to lift this up. So again, you want to ensure that you're rooted as much as you can. And just go as far as you can. Bring it back. Let's try the other hand. So up and around in a big C shape. Okay. Next is we're going to grab this side and we're going to try to see if we can look behind us whilst keeping our back straight. And again, look behind us, keeping our back straight. Okay. I'm going to try those ankle grabs again. So we're in this position, and it was this side, wasn't it? So let's try that. Oh, I can. Yep, it's getting better. Can almost touch it. Yes, there we go. So that felt much better. Just hold it there for a minute. Well, not a minute, you know what I mean. Isn't it nice when parts of your body meet again? The hand holding the opposite heel. Okay, bring that back. Let's try the other one. There we go. Awesome. Okay. If you have any pain in your back, in your shoulders, in your thighs, and your hips, then perhaps some of the videos that I do will help out, especially if you do martial arts like I do. Every time I do karate, I feel very stiff. So I've got some stretching videos that may help with not only your kicking ability, but also just your general mobility and flexibility in your day-to-day. So if you've got any issues and injuries, then just be careful. Do only what you can do. If it gets to number 5 in that pain scale, then maybe look at an alternative. So rest it, maybe put some ice on it, or look at another way in which you can become more mobile. Maybe it is in a chain. So for example, people complain about their knees a lot, right? Well, what's between your knee on either side? You've got your ankles and you've got your hips, you've got your quads and you've got your calves. So it might not be an issue too much with your knees. It might be because there is something that is out of line in that chain, if that makes sense. Same with your back, right? Your lower back. If the lower back hurts, then maybe it's something to do with your hips. Maybe it's something to do with your neck and other alignment. If you think of it as the chain all the way up here, maybe there is another component higher up or lower down on that chain that needs to be worked on. Anyway, do follow, do subscribe to get some more fitness tips, especially if you're a martial artist and you're over 40 and you're a bloke. Cheers.